So these are my concluding thoughts on Tor, and then some mitigations to reduce the risk. Where your adversary has little resources or the consequences are low, Tor prevents your ISP or local network from knowing what sites you visit. Tor prevents a site you visited from knowing who you are, unless you tell them in some way, and Tor prevents corporate tracking, and it helps to evade censorship. But world intelligence agencies have declared war on Tor. They are concerned about what they cannot see, what you are doing, and why. Tor is arguably the best anonymizing network, but it's far from perfect and under constant attack to de-anonymize the users. Against a well-resourced adversary, staying anonymous is extremely difficult, even with Tor, because of the fundamental nature of the internet. If you think you are specifically targeted by a well-resourced adversary with international reach, or visit locations that might be targeted and the consequences are high, Tor should not be relied upon to anonymize you. The biggest weaknesses, as I see it, number one is not maintaining good OPSEC. You are likely to make human errors. This will always be your biggest weakness. Other big concerns for Tor: traffic correlation and civil attacks, attacks against the browser, as I said, that's a concern, and also attacks against the host operating system, which is a soft target. You can mitigate and reduce the possibility of a well-resourced or non-well-resourced adversary from de-anonymizing you, and here are my recommended security controls. First, as mentioned, get a control of your OPSEC. This is priority one. Review the OPSEC section and make any needed changes. Use isolation and compartmentalization to reduce the impact and possibility of browser exploits being successful. You can use hardened virtual machines, physical isolation, sandboxes, and so on. Never install the Tor browser on your main operating system if the consequences are high. See the section on isolation and compartmentalization for more information on how to do that with the Tor browser. Take extra steps to not maintain history through non-persistence. You can get this through options such as live operating systems like Tails and VM snapshots, and you can further mitigate with things like special deletion, like secure deletion and whole disk encryption. A number of sections cover this on the course. Always use a Tor browser with high security settings and don't add extensions. Consider using Unix or Tails in the ways I have recommended in those sections, and you could also consider using multiple chained anonymizing systems and offsite connections to help reduce the risk from some types of de-anonymizing attacks. Now, see those sections on how to do that, but warning, doing that wrong could put you more at risk. Apply all of the other security controls detailed throughout the course as is relevant to your situation. Assume all locations you visit are in the control of your adversary and mitigate appropriately. Assume the network you traverse is in the control of your adversary and mitigate appropriately. Assume your adversary has zero-day remote code browser exploits, mitigate appropriately. And assume an active traffic confirmation and Sybil attack while you are using Tor and mitigate appropriately, as just described. I recommend periodically checking the Tor project blog for status updates, and also check Tor client and relay counts. Make sure they look normal. I also recommend reading the Tor design documents, which are here. So that's Tor weaknesses and the recommended security controls to help mitigate against those weaknesses. I hope that helps you in using Tor and what you can do to reduce your risk.